Hello, my name is Bennett. Here to talk to you today about ventilation at fires. Have you ever been by after a fire and seen a big hole cut in the roof, like a perfectly square cut hole in the roof, and wondered why is there this hole? There's a reason for it, not just because we like to cut things. Um, when we go to a fire, we'll bring a hose into the house, and obviously the fire's burning, smoke is in the house, can't see anything if we're trying to get out. So what we'll do after the hose line gets to the point where they're ready to put the fire out, they will let the other people know to go up and cut the hole in the roof so that we can, the smoke will clear. The fire will get bigger for a minute if you don't have the hose line in place, but if everything works correctly, it will save most of the house except for this hole we just cut in, which shouldn't do that much damage. The coordination with the hose team and the ventilation is very key, and it doesn't have to be vertical ventilation, it can be horizontal ventilation. Horizontal ventilation will be done by just breaking all the windows, and sometimes homeowners will wonder, why are they breaking all my windows when they're perfectly fine? We break them for a reason, do the same thing, just easier. Sometimes it might not be possible to get up on the roof due to fire issues. When we do cut the holes, we're shooting to make a hole the size of the car. We want to be able to make it as big as we can so we can get as much heat and much smoke out of the house as quick as possible. And it will in turn help firefighters inside, help people get out that are inside, and causes less damage to the house. Patching a hole versus replacing everything in the house because of smoke damage, quite a bit better. Sometimes we're not able to cut holes in the roof due to extensive fire growth, where the newer construction roof trusses aren't strong and we can't get up on the roof after about 3 to 4 minutes. So sometimes we're not even there by the time that the fire has already taken out the roof and that's ventilated itself. So in turn, it almost always happens whether we do it or it does it itself. It's a lot cleaner when we do it. Ventilating your roof takes a lot of skill and takes a little bit of getting used to when you're hanging out over a roof that's on fire, trying to cut a hole with a chainsaw. It's kind of entertaining sometimes. Steel roofs will hold in the heat. They're somewhat easier to cut because you just cut across a couple of sheets and it'll drop off to the ground. With a old roof that's got layers and layers of shingles and plywood and everything else will be much more difficult to cut. So sometimes it may take them a few minutes to get that hole cut. It might not be quick and easy. It might look like they're doing something wrong, but chances are they aren't. It's just a horrible situation they're in up there. With breaking windows, we'll clear the entire window. It's not just break the center of the window and run to the next one and break that one. We have to clear everything from the window so that the most smoke and heat can get out. And that can also become a point of egress for the firefighters inside if something were to go horribly wrong. The the ventilation can be done two ways. One way it can be done is from a roof ladder, which is a lot less safe because you're going up onto a roof completely onto a ladder and then hoping nothing goes through. The safer way to do it is from a ladder truck, which is safer and you can hook into it, but on the other hand, you're literally leaning out of the bucket with a 20-pound saw with 50 pounds of gear in smoke and heat. It's not very fun, and can be a little nerving too because you're looking 50 feet down and you're above this burning house trying to cut a hole in the roof. So it takes them a few extra minutes to see what they're doing and get their bearings to get up to do it. Gotta give them a little slack there too. The key thing to know is that we're doing this to make things better for firefighters inside, put the fire out faster, and it will in turn save more of the house by cutting a small hole or a large hole in some cases, but it will always be better if there's a hole in the roof versus smoke through your entire house. That is why we cut holes in roofs. And any questions?
You have to cut the hole in a certain spot?
Good thing you asked that. You have to cut a hole Another part of the coordination with the hose line team is to coordinate where the fire is. So we don't know where the fire is when we pull up sometimes. You just have dark smoke through the whole house, and you gotta find the fire, tell the incident command group where the fire is, and they will send a team to the roof to cut a hole in the correct location, or else you could pull the fire through the entire house. Same thing goes with breaking windows. If you have a fire on the left side of the house, you break all the windows on the right side of the house, you're going to pull that fire across the entire house and do more damage than you should have. Any other questions? Thanks for listening.